Well, that was fun. Now, where do you start? I was told the radio guys, we had probably, in my opinion, probably the best, most spirited set of practices we've had all year coming into this one. And I felt really good about how we would play tonight. And then, obviously the first half didn't go anywhere like you dream. And we made a lot of mistakes. I give Baylor credit. They're as good as we thought they were coming in. And, we brought the team up right there. I think after it went maybe 28-3, brought the team up and told them, hey, let's try to close the gap a little bit here. We were playing really hard at the beginning. Didn't do our job great. I thought guys trying to make a little too much happen. It was, like I said, so good, and they were so amped to play this game. It was maybe a little bit too much, honestly, in the beginning, but they settled in, man. They did. They settled in and fought, and the locker room at halftime was probably not what you imagine it would be like in the movies when something like this happens. Didn't have to say a whole lot to our guys. They knew what they had to do, and you never know 100% that you're going to be able to come back from something like that. But I think they all felt like we had a chance, And I got to be honest, even at K-State, when we got down that third quarter, I think maybe about half of us really believed that we had a chance to come back and win that thing. And in this one, there was not one person on that sideline that didn't believe it. And now you still got to go make it happen, but the belief is for a comeback like that is where it starts. And team ball, you can't say enough about how well we played. Other than fumbling the ball on the goal line, we played a really, really good half of ball, and we're completely dominant there. So, I'm as a coach, there's a lot of great wins, and we've been lucky to have a ton of them here. But coming back like we did, and just kind of how it all played out, this one is up there for sure. So I am beyond proud, and then also beyond excited about us continuing to grow. I think people still see we got a lot of things to continue to grow on and get better, but I think this can be a catalyst for that. I think it will be, and our best ball is coming soon.
Lincoln, you had two tails the first two halves, really. So what did you say to him at the second half? And that first drive of the second half, how key was that?
It was big. We talked about it coming out. We also felt like we had some momentum there at the end of half. As crazy as that may sound, we score. They had a couple big plays, but then we hold them out, make them kick a field goal. And we felt like we had momentum coming in. Like, the guys were awesome at half. And I didn't have to say a whole lot to them. Just, we talked about kind of energy and the passion and the supporting of each other and all that the whole week, and they were awesome on that all night. But we were finally kind of settled in there a little bit within the game, and we were able to balance that by doing our job and doing it at a high level. And I just give our kids credit, man. They made some, just so many phenomenal plays, and it'd have been easy to pack up the tent tonight. We didn't do it.
Lincoln, in the first half, it looked like you guys couldn't stop them on defense. The second half, pretty thoroughly dominant in the second half on defense. What changed at halftime on the defensive side, or can you put your finger on it?
Man, I tell you what, getting that turnover.
Finally?
We stripped that ball, get it back, and then it was just kind of on from there. It was almost kind of like the monkey off your back a little bit. And we got that turnover, and and then obviously, Benito gets a huge one there at the end to seal it. And I think getting the turnover and then just settling in and doing our job better than we did in the first half. They understood we had to play with the same amount of energy and effort, but we had to do our job better, and we did.
Lincoln, what kept CD out, and then how much do you feel like that impacted what went wrong offensively in the first half?
CD was a medical decision. Did it impact us in the first half? Hard to say. You got a guy that's probably the best receiver in America. It's hard to say that it doesn't, but our guys, as you saw, were more than capable of playing and playing well. So maybe a little. I don't know how to measure it. He's a tremendous player, but man, we had some young guys really step up and make some big time plays tonight that CD made when he was a young guy, and that helped spur him on to a tremendous career. And I think tonight will be a big night for a lot of those young guys on both sides of the ball that made a lot of plays.
Lincoln, everybody kind of always has an opinion on Jalen and the way he plays, the way the type of quarterback he is. But when you see him go out and his teammates see him go out tonight in that second half and rely on guys like Theo Weese and really get Lee Morris involved and Austin Stogner, how much does that help this team moving forward just in terms of a unit, a chemistry?
No, it does. He had to trust those other guys, certainly. And I think I'll be interested to go back and watch the film, but it'll be interesting if he did as much early as he did at the end. You know, playing with a guy that's such a difference maker like CD can I mean, it gets your attention as a quarterback, and it should. I mean, but sometimes playing without him can almost make you see the whole thing a little bit better. And he did. He hung in there. He had one bad decision in the throw game, and then obviously the two fumbles. You know, and other than that, the guy played pretty clean ball. I mean, he did. He settled in. I thought he handled some of our adjustments. We had to make a lot of adjustments in this game, and I thought he handled those in game as good as he has all year. And yeah, I mean, it's just pretty awesome to see a kid that wants to win so bad and then has those turnovers, you know, and is a part of the reason that we're in the hole. And then to come back and play like he did at the end of the half and then the second half, I mean, well, what more can you say?
Can you describe the pocket a lot better than he has the last couple of weeks? Is that something you guys worked on coming out of that last game?
Yeah, we thought there was a couple of opportunities in the last game to stay in a little bit more and continue to trust our linemen and our receivers to be where they are. And it's a fine line with a guy like that because he's such a dynamic athlete that you don't want to slow him down either, because hell, you know, 75% of the time he takes off, it's pretty good, you know. And so yeah, he's worked on it, and I thought he really trusted it and made some big throws from the pocket.
Can you describe how the game plan kind of changes? It simplifies maybe when you fall behind big, 28-3, whatever it was, and you start to say, okay, let's simplify it, strip it down to crossing routes, out routes?
No, we really didn't. We had to make some adjustments within plays, but I don't know, we went and made we went and called a bunch of things that we weren't in the beginning. We made a few adjustments. They did a few new things like you do, and we had to adjust to it, and we did. And I mean, the biggest difference was, I mean, we held on to the ball. I mean, that's, you know, we had a couple opportunities there that in the first half, certainly to get things moving. But yeah, no, there wasn't. That's the one thing we said even when we got down, you know, big early, was we got to stick to what we have. We know there's times where you're playing, you're like, man, the plan stinks, and we need to make some adjustments. And there's times like, no, our plan's pretty good. Like we gotta hang in there, maybe a tweak here and there, and keep firing it at them. And that's where we landed tonight.
Like Baylor has won so many games by coming back into the last, so you have to send your defense back out there with 1:45 to go. What's running through your mind at that point when you have to do that?
I don't get too, you know, emotionally caught up in it. I can't. I mean, it's, you know, we got 2 timeouts left, and how do we want to use those, and communicating with our defensive staff, and then you know, watching our kids make plays. I mean, I'm thinking, what do we got to do to get a stop? And we did.
What can you say about Burkich? I mean, he drills the one that you guys end up having to call a timeout and back out and drill.
Yeah, no, I told you guys before, you know, even when a young guy, when he came in, and, you know, Austin was clearly the starter, we would put him in some pressure kick situations, and he seemed to always make those. And and he went out there. You may not believe me, but I really was not that worried about it. I mean, I was like, he's probably going to make it like all the other ones he does, you know. So big-time kick, and again, the confidence he has in Connor and Casey is a big part of that, especially for a young kicker.
How about Benito dropping an interception? And, you know, interceptions or turnovers are so stressed on this team, and yet he comes back to
makes the next one. And yeah, and the one he caught was a much harder play. I mean, what was a much harder play? It's a great call by Coach Grinch, and awesome play by Nick. Yeah, it was awesome.
Lincoln, you're as close as anybody is to Jalen after really any series or turnover. What was his demeanor like, and what did you say to him after the fumble right before the goal line?
He stayed a lot like the Texas game. You know, he kind of stayed calm as he made some mistakes early. He was particularly disappointed about the one there because we had all the momentum in the world, and I think that was right after we had recovered the fumble, if I remember right. And so yeah, he was disappointed, but then he was over it like quickly. And that's one thing I know about him. I I don't have to go do a Dr. Phil session on the side with him. I mean, there's adjustments we got to talk about, and things he's doing, things we're seeing, all that. But that cat's ready to play.
When that happens, it being his third turnover, is it as simple as that? You basically just kind of slap him on the back and just say, let's just keep going.
I said.
Tell him that.
Well, I told him I think we're moving it well at this point. Hold on to the damn ball, and then we'll score every drive.
You guys went, obviously were down. You came back against K-State, but just came up a little bit short. You said you guys were calm. The demeanor in the locker room wasn't like what you'd seen. How much do you think that experience helped out tonight?
No, it did. It did. I think our team has clearly grown from it. I would say a combination of some of the. I think we're getting a little tougher as a team. And then just, again, the preparation. Everybody always thinks the preparation is, schematically something you're doing, or a technique, or a fundamental, or what you think you're going to see from another team. And it is part of that, but it's also mentally each individual getting themselves to a place where they're ready to compete at the highest level and ready to do it for their teammates. And you cannot, I don't care who you are, you cannot just flip that on game days. This team was so invested through the week that, I just kind of knew, even if we didn't play well in a period here or there, I knew we were going to just fight our tails off, and you just knew that. And our team knew that, and they felt that.
That bear hug you gave Jalen post-game might have been the first time the entire post-game session that he smiled. Is he just so locked in those moments and just jolts him out of it a little bit?
Which time? I'm sorry.
In the end zone.
Post-game in the end zone.
Oh, yeah.
Tackle and hug him. It's
the
first time he smiled the entire post-game.
Yeah, he smiles a lot more than you guys see.
Lincoln, what was the decision? So CD went out for warm-ups and he dressed and everything. How did you guys make the final determination? Are you able to say anything else about his medical situation?
Yeah, no, we knew by today that he wasn't going to play. The decision to warm-ups was kind of twofold. He wanted to be out there with his teammates and participate, and then I thought strategically for us it made some sense too.
Did you make any adjustments protection-wise after their first half? They were kind of all over Jalen.
Yeah, a little bit. There's a couple things here and there, but it wasn't. There were some very, very small adjustments, but I think it was just more of us recognizing how they were attacking us, and once we did, our kids settled in with it.
Lincoln, did you know early in the week that there was a chance you weren't going to have CD, or is it something that happened late?
We knew early in the week there was a chance, and it kind of clarified as it went on.
Lincoln, what about next week? To your playoff chances?
Sir?
How big a boost to your playoff chances does this give you?
You have to win, and I know let all the people on TV talk about style points and how much you win by or how much you lose by, or I think you have to find a way to win. That's all I know, and I know that's been a decent formula for us the last few years, and you got to win these tough ones like this, and so we got a good football team. We do, and we're I think not. I don't care who all watched it on the outside. I just think we saw in that second half of what we can be, and we're excited to go fight to be able to do that here for the entire rest of the season.
Lincoln, what did you learn about your team tonight? Did you know you had this in you? I mean, it's one thing to come back.
Yeah.
It's one thing another to come back from 25 down in an environment like this.
No, I learned a lot about our team this week. I probably learned more this week about our team than maybe tonight. When we got down again, I really believed we had to come back in us. Now, it's still hard to do. I mean, there's no doubt about that, especially against a good team. It's hard to do. But I really felt like we had it in us. And just the way our guys were this week, the way they responded, we kind of found ourselves a little bit. That's the best way I can describe it.
Lincoln, to come back, outscore an undefeated team 24-0 in the second half, and a big part of it being turnovers and what Alex has kind of been through trying to, start this thing up. How did you react after it was over? What was, kind of your message to him, and what has it been like, kind of watching him go through this, trying to get this out of his team?
Yeah, honestly, I didn't get to see him yet. It was kind of a mob scene in our locker room. So, but no, it's exciting for him. I mean, we're just getting started defensively, with what we're going to be here, and he's done a great job with our guys. you know, a game like this, a second half like this, you have to have, you know, first year, I know when I came in as offensive coordinator, you're going to get into some of those moments where if you can make it happen, those moments, their belief goes through the roof. And we had, you know, we were fortunate enough that first year, not all of them, but we were able to have some of those moments offensively kind of in year one where you could feel the belief go through the roof. And, you know, I think tonight can be that for us defensively. He and our staff have done a great job, and our kids, you know, buy in again this week. Even after all the stuff out there, all the noise out there, this week was as good as it's been, and the result was there. So I'm proud of the, you know, what he's doing and what our staff's doing, and can't wait to see how much better we get.
Lincoln, how big was Ronnie Perkins tonight? 3 sacks for him.
He did 3. Yeah, he was awesome. He was one of the guys we really challenged that said, you know what, you came here to be a primetime player. You know, we got to have it from you, and he responded in a big way.
You talked about recruiting and how important recruiting is. You get Dave Hazelwood, Theo Weeks, guys are highly recruited guys.
Stogner.
You get Nick Benito making plays, Ronnie
Yep.
Perkins. Is it nice to see that kind of come to fruition? It's the first 2 signing classes.
Well, yeah, no doubt. That's why you work so hard at it. You know, you work so hard to bring in the right guys, and you in recruiting, you talk to them about getting a chance to play in games like this and a chance to make those big winning plays. And yeah, it's tonight was exciting certainly for this team first and foremost, but certainly exciting for the future with so many young guys making plays.
Any idea if you how to see you back next week?
We'll have to see. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
Lincoln, you've pulled together now. I think I've seen it twice. The team together during a game. I think both times down 28-3 last year in the Orange Bowl. Brought the team.
Maybe I ought to do it a little sooner. Is that what you're going to say?
What's that speech like? And can you kind of take us in? I know you probably can't tell us exactly what you said, but can you kind of take us into what that was about?
I think it's different. I mean, it's just what you think the team needs in that moment, you know, and this team's at a different place than that one was, and I think a chance just to kind of refocus a little bit, because sometimes, especially on the road or in an atmosphere like that, it can get away from you quick, and your mistakes start getting compounded, and I felt like that's what was happening for us. We would have 1 or 2 mistakes, and it turned into 3, 4, or 5, and we had to stop that, and then I wanted to make sure that they knew that what we did all week really did happen, and we really are good enough to come back and do this. And but if I told them, if we don't believe, we got no shot. And but they did. They believed, and you know, those speeches aren't magical. It's with what the players do with it, and then our players did it.
Is it just a mentality thing at that point in those moments? Is it just really you're kind of drilling in on where they are mentally? I
think some mentality, and then also, you know, getting to the heart of whatever the problem is, and addressing it head on, and knowing that we have an answer for it. And sometimes just getting everybody in there together has just a little bit different feel to it.
We got to finish out, Barry. You're down 21 at halftime. Your second half drives, I think, were 11, 12, 13, 11, and 8 plays. What's the mentality of, hey, let's not get in a hurry. We don't have CDs, so we're not going to hit home runs. How tough was it to stay patient and when you're down 21?
Yeah, I don't feel like, you know, I mean, I get CD's a great player. I didn't feel like that we wouldn't hit home runs. I mean, we've got a lot of other good players too. But yeah, I think it goes back to the other question of, you know, did we have confidence in the plan that we had? And we did, and we had confidence in our ability to execute it. And the one thing we said was we can't just scrap everything and just go rogue just because we're down a few points. There's a lot of time. I mean, I think when I pulled them up, even down 28-3, I think one of the things I said to him, I think at that time we had like 41 minutes still left in the game. I mean, there was still forever left, and so, you know, I didn't want us to panic. I just wanted us to, you know, do better, and yeah, I mean, our coaches did a good job of sticking to the plans on both sides.
All right, thank you, Lincoln.